This is Praveen P. from Sri Venkateshwar College of Engineering. I am here to explain you about the types of corrosion and methods to control corrosion. Let's know what we are going to learn about the corrosion. Information metal, about metal aeration corrosion. Differential metal corrosion occurs when two dissimilar metals are in contact with each other and exposed to corrosive reduction and protected from corrosion. This type of corrosion is known as galvanic corrosion. Differential metal corrosion conducting metal medium, the metal with lower electrode potential acts as an anode, undergoes oxidation, gets corroded, and the other metal with higher electrode potential acts as a cathode undergoes. Let's know what we are going to learn about the corrosion. Information metal about metal aeration. Information about differential aeration corrosion. When a metal is exposed to differential concentration of air, oxygen parts of metal exposed to lower concentration of oxygen becomes anionic and undergoes corrosion, whereas other parts of metal exposed to higher concentration of oxygen becomes cathodic and remains unaffected. This kind of corrosion is called differential aeration corrosion. For example, uh, iron rod partially immersed in NaCl solution. Part of the metal immersed in solution is exposed to lower concentration of oxygen, becomes anionic and undergoes corrosion, whereas a part of metal outside NaCl solution is exposed to more oxygen, becomes cathodic and remains unaffected. The anodic and cathodic remains at anode. This explains you about the differential. Let's know what we are going to learn about the corrosion. Information metal about metal aeration corrosion. Next, about galvanization. Galvanization, the process of coating zinc on the base metal like iron, steel surface by hot dipping is known as galvanization. The galvanization process is carried out as follows. The metal surface is washed with organic solvent like CCl4, toluene, benzene, etc. to remove organic matters. The metal surface is treated with dilute H2SO4 to remove rust and other deposits. Then it is well washed with water and it is air dried by passing with hot air. The metal is dried with mixture of zinc chloride and aluminum chloride solution, which prevents the oxidation of the coated metal. Then the metal is dipped in molten zinc 45 like 4500 degrees Celsius like 450 degrees Celsius. Excess of zinc on surface is removed by passing a pair of hot rollers which removes excess of zinc and produces thin coating. Let's know what we are going to learn about the corrosion. Information metal about metal aeration. Corrosion is how to prevent corrosion. Protecting coating, we can prevent corrosion. Corrosion is prevented by the application of protective coating on the surface of metal. Thereby, the metal surface is isolated from the corrosive environment. Important types of protective coating are metal coating, inorganic coating, metal coating. Let's know about the metal coating. The process of coating base metals with a layer of protective metal is known as metal coating. There are two types of metal coating: anodic metal coating, cathodic metal coating. Let's again inorganic coating. Let's know what we are going to learn about the corrosion. Information metal about metal aeration. The other methods are like implicit current or voltage methods, sacrificial anode methods. Sacrificial anode method involves the use of a metal which is anodic to the specimen. In this method, the metallic structure to be protected is connected to a more anodic metal using a metallic wire. More active metals gets corroded while the parent metallic structure is protected from the corrosion. Example, when steel metal is protected, it may be connected to a block of magnesium of zinc. mg of zinc. In such case, steel acts as a cathode and is unaffected. Mg or zinc act as an anode and undergoes sacrificial corrosion. When the sacrificial anode gets exhausted, it is replaced with new ones. The commonly used sacrificial anodes are Mg, Al, zinc, and their alloys. Example: production of ship hulls that we see in the ocean by fixing zinc plates. Production of an underground pipeline with a magnesium anode are the a few examples for cathodic protection. Next, after that, let's know what we are going to learn about the corrosion. Information metal, about metal aeration. After the cathodic corrosion, let's learn about waterline corrosion. It is observed to steel, iron, water tanks partially filled with water. When a steel tank is partially filled with water for a long time, the inner portion of the tank below the water line exposed only to dissolve oxygen, whereas the portion above the water is exposed to more oxygen. Thus, the portion below the waterline acts as anode, undergoes corrosion. The upper portion acts as a cathode, which is unaffected. Example: ships which remains partially immersed in sea water for a long time undergoes waterline corrosion. Next, pitting corrosion. What is like this type of corrosion is observed when dust particles, oil drops deposited over the metal surfaces. The pitting corrosion is due to metal surface is not homogeneous, like external environment is not homogeneous, crystallography directions are not equal in the reactivity, environment are not uniform with respect to concentration. Rust, water, more oxygen, cathode less oxygen, anode. Pitting corrosion results when the portion of the metal covered by the dust, which is less aerated, becomes anodic and undergoes corrosion, and from pit and forms pit. The remaining area of the metal which is exposed to the higher concentration of oxygen becomes cathodic and remains unaffected. Let's see. That's it, guys. Thank you. Jai Shri Ram.